Okay, so you want to date a Gemini, you say? You brave soul, you. Oh man. All right, so brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. You want to date a Gemini? Here's what you need to know. A Gemini is quick. All right? A Gemini thinks quick. A Gemini, their words come out quick. Their comebacks, they're firing off verbally and comebacks quick. Like a Gemini will, I always like to describe it this way. A Gemini will cut you with their words and you don't even realize it until like next week. You're like, oh, I'm cut. Like, ooh, that really cut to the middle of my heart. Like they really, what they said really got to me. You know what I'm saying? And it may have gone over your head when they first said it. You know what I'm saying? Because you didn't realize how deep the cut was, how deep those words resonated, or how deep they penetrated your heart or your soul. But a Gemini, oh my, them words, they gonna get you. You understand me? It's like it reminds me of one of those heat-seeking bomb missiles. You you shoot the missile out and it looks for the heat. It's gonna get you. When if you are hot, if you're warm temperature, it's gonna get you. You understand me? Sooner or later, inevitably, it's gonna get you. That's how a Gemini's words are, and they come out quick. Almost like that Gemini had those words lined up, just waiting for you to say the right thing so that they can say that thing. Like it's like that. All right. And so what's happening there? What's happening there is Geminis are masters at seeing patterns. They're masters at seeing patterns, so they already knew that they might need to have a few in the whole, a few in the head or around in the head, around, to shoot the fire off. They already knew they had to have something set up for in the event that you took it there, or in the event that anyone took it there. Let me just say that. Sometimes Geminis just have replies waiting because they've already analyzed the situation. They've already predicted the possibility that they could end up in a situation. So they've already prepared words to say, and that's not every situation, but in situations that they feel might be a bit of a threat or something, they already know how they're going, like, I wish it would. Like, they already got thoughts, they already got words set up to say the thing, right? And so don't be surprised if you're a Gemini. They fire off at you verbally. And don't be surprised at that, because what's happened is, one, they've recognized your patterns, and so they already knew that the situation had a potential to go there, so they already prepared for it to potentially go there. And then two, because a Gemini's pattern recognition is so excellent, it makes their intuition strong. It makes them able to really predict what could possibly happen, because patterns tend to repeat themselves. You know what I'm saying? History repeats itself, and so I would say that most Geminis are probably psychic at this point, because most Geminis have that ability to kind of see patterns and see repeated things happening, or the potential for things to happen. I would say that most Geminis are mind readers at this point. I'm exaggerating a bit, but kind of not, and so keep that in mind. Like, whether it's a good pattern that you have or a not so great pattern that you have, your Gemini saw that thing. They saw that, or they saw how you handled that situation, or they heard what you said about your last relationship partner, and they tucked that away in their head, like, oh, okay, if you ever try that with me, this how I'm gonna handle. Like, they recognize those kinds of patterns, and they then predict what could happen should they find themselves in a similar situation with you or with whomever. And then the Gemini will analyze previous situations from a 360 panoramic view, getting each of the Geminis will review old film or older memories, old situations, from their points of views, from their vantage points, from their personality, type. They will review it. They will gather their notes. All of the Geminis in that one Gemini will have a conference call or a group chat or a meeting together to compare notes. They will create a profile on you and your behaviors, and they do this with everybody. Pros and cons, strengths and weaknesses. They do all, they do that. They do their analysis of you. All right. And then they will go ahead to create a contingency plan. They will create contingency plans for like, if this person ever do this or if that person ever did that, these are some of the ways I could potentially respond. They don't know exactly how they're going to respond until they're in the now moment, but when they're in the now moment and that part of them is triggered, fire off because they already had some waiting. They already had something waiting. So keep that in mind. Some people would say you don't want to argue with a Gemini. I agree. I agree. And yet people do. People do. You know, because there are other zodiac signs that can get with it too, you know, can spar, do a verbal sparring and be proper partners, verbal sparring partners with a Gemini. But most times a Gemini has you outnumbered. All right. They've outthought you. They're damn near banking you. Okay. You getting banked, gang jumped by all the different versions of Geminis that are in that one person. That one person is jumping you. That's how it feels. At least that's how people have told me. So just be mindful of that. And I mean, I would say tread lightly, but a Gemini is going to respect you if you can really meet them. You know, if you're a proper sparring partner, that's really when you're going to get the Gemini's respect. So I can't even say like, oh, let them win, because that's going to piss the Gemini off too, on one hand. But on the other hand, they more than likely will win the conversation because they will cut in a way that you didn't even know you were cut. And you might think you won, but then later on in the day or in the week, you're like, gosh, that was really a lethal cut. It's like death by 1,000 paper cuts or something like that, you know? Or it's like that. It's like they cut you, but you didn't like bleed out till later. You know what I'm saying? It's spooky a little bit. It's spooky a little bit. So just keep that in mind as you are out here dating Geminis and, you know, getting on their bad side or trying to like roast them or verbally spar with them. Just keep in mind that Geminis are a worthy adversary. Like they are, and if you best them in conversation once, I doubt that you will best them twice, because they will immediately use like, what is it, guerrilla warfare, where you use like your enemy's weaknesses against them or something like that. Like they will immediately study what you did there, how you knocked them out there with those words, and then they will master your technique and create a counter technique to then best you the next time y'all spar. This is what you're working with. So you want to date a Gemini, huh? Godspeed. Like, listen, not for the faint of heart, but worth it. So worth it.